Again, 58-52, the final. Coach Leon Rice, nice enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. Coach Rice, you're live to a lot of happy Boise State fans on social media all around the country, really.
Really.
Congratulations, just a very impressive win.
That was a great one. And, we knew, what a nice atmosphere. I'm really glad I scheduled this game. It turned out just the way, well, not just because of the win, but, you had a nice crowd. You had you can't script a homecoming better than that for Naj and Tyson. And, so that was really neat. And I knew it was going to be a defensive struggle. Well, going into this game, my biggest concern was scoring. I knew scoring would be tough for us. I was hoping it'd be tough for them. And, it certainly was tough for us in the first half. We opened things up a bit in the second half and played a lot better. But credit their defense. They're a good defensive team. And, to hold a team to 52 is pretty good. And so I knew that our experience in the games like this has really helped us. And we've been in a lot of rock fights this year with some good defensive teams, probably maybe a few more than them in that way. So I think it gave me a little more comfort with it to be able to help them because, I'm used to scoring a lot of points and you just got to get comfortable winning those games. And our guys they weathered the storm. They knew that they could hang our hat on our defense down the stretch. And that's what we did. But yet we stepped up and made free throws, and that's the difference in the game, too.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to go. We only got a couple minutes, but the free throws, I guess, 18 of 21, and Abu Kijab in the second half there. That's basically the St. Louis game, except the free throws not going your way down the stretch.
Right.
You
No doubt.
18 of 21, and they missed some free throws too. And I know you were confident that, hey, Abu has a lot of makes coming. This team has a lot of makes coming, and in a game like this, you needed every one of them.
And he said to me after the game, because we called his number and he made the two free throws. And then when I give the chest pound, that means same call. And so he said he said when he saw that, he knew we had confidence in him, and that made him go make them all. And credit to him though. I do have a lot of confidence in him. He's a winner, and those look good. You can just tell they looked right, and that's why we, after that we drew up the OB for him also. And so, and he delivered. Credit Abu, he delivered.
So many big guys came up with big shots or big plays. And, it was a frustrating probably 35 minutes for Tyson, obviously. And he came up with that huge three, though. And that with 2 minutes left, he just he was wanting so bad to put on a show for his fans here. And he came through when you guys needed him. That huge three put you guys up 4 and really gave you a little separation there.
Yeah, because they had just hit a big three and we answered it. So, we threw a play at them that they hadn't seen. And I think that was big. We knew we could get him open, but credit Abu, he delivered the ball on time, on target, and I knew, this team, and not only me, but this team and this coaching staff, we got a lot of confidence in Tyson. He's a winner and he's a gamer, and we want to give him that opportunity with that shot.
You mentioned the defense. You guys went over 6 minutes without scoring there at one point yourselves. And your defense kept you in it. You had to feel only down 5 at half like that was a win. You couldn't do much. You had turnovers. You weren't making shots, and yet you were still right there.
Yeah, and that that's what I told our guys at the start of the game. This is going to be a game of maybe droughts for some people, and you just weather the storm through those, and if you can do that, you're going to have a chance at the end, and that's what we did. We were comfortable with that, and like I said, the experience of those other games probably helped us be comfortable with those, because sometimes those games just feel like, oh God, things aren't going right, but you look up at the scoreboard and you're right there. So you got to just be at peace with it and find a way.
And you are finding ways late in games, Coach. We've talked a lot about this, but it just seems like a different feel now late in these games.
Yeah.
And you're needing plays and you're finding ways to make them. And then the second half, just the back and forth. And as you mentioned, they answered multiple times and just wouldn't go away. And every time you needed a big bucket, you did. What does this say about your guys that in a game like this that comes down to the wire, you guys are showing that trait now, where you guys are just fine and you can pull it out?
Right, and that's what good teams do. You got to win to beat a good team. Like you're going to face in league. This was like a Mountain West League game. If you got to be able to win in different ways, you got to be comfortable with that, and you got to be able to win close games. And you can't win close games if you don't make free throws. That's as simple as it is. And we made our free throws down the stretch, and credit to our guys for just having that belief, and I'm really happy for Abu. I'm I'm happy with the way we finished that game. It was really special.
Final thing, Coach. I mean, you mentioned it off the top, but you come here the extra day early. You you all go over to Tyson's house last night for dinner. You know, half your team basically knows people that are up here. I mean, just you mentioned you didn't schedule the game just to let them go back and have a homecoming game, but the way it worked out, like you said, and just to have these 3 days here, what did this mean to you and to this team, and just to do all this and now get a couple-day break on a 6-game winning streak?
It was special, and you know, it's about these guys, and to give Najee that in front of his crowd too. You know, there's a lot of talk about Tyson.
That putback he had was a big one.
Big one, really big. He made some big plays, and how many blocks he just altered. And you know, I thought he made great defense plays, great rebounding plays all night. And without him, we don't win that game with Mladen in foul trouble. And so for him to have that special night, for Tyson to have that, and you know, our other guys enjoyed it. I mean, this was a good college atmosphere. One of the better crowds we played in front of, and it prepares you to play on the road in the Mountain West. So that was, to come out of there with a victory against that team is good.
Well, appreciate it, Coach. I know you're making the media rounds here, but congrats on the win. Hope you get a nice couple days for holiday break here, and then we'll see you for Fresno State on the 28th.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you guys, and travel back safe, and makes for a good Christmas in Bronco land in the great state of Idaho.
The 6-hour drive home tomorrow is a little nicer when all the fans are in a good mood and reading. And you get the flight. We're driving
fly right over top of it.
There you go. Appreciate it. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Yep. Congrats on the win. 58-52. Again, the final. Thank you to Leon Rice for joining us. Wow, what a win.